This evening we are talking about solar technology powering tomorrow's Michigan, looking at what the incentives are, what the business opportunities are, examining some of the systems in place, and trying to identify where we can go in the future. Panelists today are Brian Tell from Shadeplex, Thomas Wither from National Adopt-A-Watt Program, and Therese Thrill from MEDC will be joining us as we move along this evening.
We have a program that's a little unique compared to anything that you might have seen before. We are mimicking the very successful Adopt-A-Highway program, only instead of giving sponsors recognition for picking up litter alongside the roads, we give them recognition for sponsoring clean solar electricity and alternative fuel and network. So basically our program is designed to help cash-strapped public agencies transition over to sustainable 21st century energy. It's an image-enhancing program, clean solar electricity, funding for alternative fuel and energy efficiency programs, and best of all, at no cost to the host locations. And how do we do that? We have a few different items that we can get sponsored. One is a completely self-contained solar electric system that, like all solar electric systems, generates clean energy that doesn't produce greenhouse gases, doesn't make any noise, doesn't consume anything but sunshine. Unique to our program, though, is the ability for it to also generate revenue. We do that through a sponsorship arrangement, similar again to the Adopt-A-Highway program. We also have sponsorable solar lights that can be funded. And basically, this would be an example of our acknowledgement sign, which gives the host location recognition for taking a proactive approach to sustainable 21st century energy. The organization that did the sponsoring and putting up the money is given well-deserved recognition along with their logo over there. We follow the Federal Highway Administration guidelines for an acknowledgement program and signage. This is not advertising. This allows us to get on rights of way and also public property. So we are launching our program as far as sponsorship goes. We spent a lot of time getting grassroots support for this. We have 42 Clean City coalitions in 21 states that support our work. We have an advisory board that has several celebrities on them. On that board, we have host locations with signed contracts at cities, airports, bridges. We were down at Comerica Park last week, and there's a number of things in the work right now. One of the largest airports in the country we will soon be at. So we give sponsors the ability to green their brand, if you will, and put a green halo on their brand, demonstrates corporate social responsibility. Our host locations benefit and are the beneficiaries of the clean energy and the money stream that's generated through this program, and then the environment wins, as you would guess, with clean solar electricity. In our particular area, we also have I didn't mention, but we have a solar LED lighting system that's extremely energy efficient and reduces greenhouse gas emissions by about 71%. And we have determined that there's about 21 states where with subsidies that it becomes an economic advantage over, let's say, a traditional HID lighting system. And actually in 6 foreign countries, it really shines, especially over in Ontario. Yeah. Actually, I've been doing this, working in this field here for about 16 years in the state of Michigan. And I just can't believe the changes that I've seen in the last 5 or 6 years as far as attitude towards clean energy and alternative fuels. And that building reluctance that was always, especially right in this area, that we're going to destroy automotive jobs and ruin the automotive industry and everything else, it's kind of dissipated. So in our opinion right now, there's just never been a better time to go into solar or clean energy, especially in this area when the jobs that are being lost can be replaced through clean energy production and green collar type jobs. So we think it's an excellent atmosphere right now, especially in this area. I'd also like to add too, that was one of the reasons for founding Adopt-A-Watt, was getting tired of waiting for government subsidies and handouts. So, as I said, I've been doing this for 16 years, and I saw what was happening. We usually ended up in the back of the line when all the money was billed out for the energy technology. So I said, let's take a business-based approach to this and figure out a way to come up with a public-private formula to fund clean energy and alternative fuel is the frosting on the cake. The cake for us is the sponsorship money that we can raise for a host location. And for instance, we're talking a transit agency in Southern California approaches for 200 of their bus stops that they want solarized and sponsored. And after all costs, assuming what we think is a reasonable sponsorship fee yearly, they are going to have $280,000 left over without any cost to them through our program. That $280,000 can be used then to invest in that case, they want to invest in hybrid buses, but also could be used to invest in Brian's Shadeplex solar covers out in California. So that we've kind of ignored that. We don't promise it in any of our projections. We just say this is a possibility for you. But the main essence of our program is to come up with sponsorship money that pays for this, giving the sponsors recognition for greening their corporate social responsibility index a little bit. And so we've really kind of just said it's possible, but it's nothing that we really are concentrating on. We don't have to through our program. I think we may be missing a real important market. There was an article, I don't know if you caught it in Associated Press this last week, and where the author there predicted that the very success of General Motors depends and hinges on the Volt, and then went on to say that the very success of Detroit and actually Michigan depends on electrification of vehicles. I think, and Brian and I are talking about this right now, about utilizing solar to serve as an offset for the recharging of EVs. We personally think that's a very attractive market for this. And a little push for our program again. We have a program that would actually help using the sponsorship money to pay for the PEV premium, also develop and install solar or PEV infrastructure for recharging. And that supports the very car industry that is down on its luck right now and can help regenerate this whole area. So we think everybody should be supporting the transition that we have going on with EVs, and we think solar can play an important part and role in that as it serves as a clean energy offset. We've really struck off, and we've talked with over 150 airports. As I just mentioned, we're closing right now on one of the world's busiest airports. 32 million people a year go through there. And they've identified 52 locations for our sponsorable solar photovoltaic arrays. So, and the beauty of our program, what's going to happen now is to help educate and inform. 32 million people a year are going to be driving through that particular airport, and if it's good enough for that airport and for Google or GM or Dell or whoever to be the sponsor, maybe it's good enough for me too. And that's part of our whole mission, to help educate and inform the public, so that that will help increase solar installations no matter where they're at. So the airports took off for us. The DOTs right at the beginning were a little reluctant, but we will be returning. In fact, New Jersey Transit Authority just recently called and wants to revisit.